the icicles on his mustache, and the Chiefs froze out the Dolphins in Kansas City. 262 yards for Mahomes through the air, had another 40 on the ground. Nick, what is the number one reason our Chiefs brought home the dub?
Is that a serious question?
Yes. Coach Mangini's here.
Hi, Coach. I mean, listen, because they're the damn Chiefs and it's January, and everyone, chill, chill. Listen, and oddly, through much criticism and critique, what the whole world saw was, oh wait, they built a team perfect for playoff football in the AFC. Cold weather, need to be able to grind out victories. And I know what everyone's going to say. Oh, the Dolphins were all injured. Yeah, on defense, but not on offense.
I agree.
On offense, that was the full-strength Miami Dolphins. And aside from one bad pass that turned into a 50-yard touchdown, they got shut down throughout. Oh, it was too cold. Well, what's it going to be like next week in Buffalo or Kansas City? Or the week after in Baltimore or Kansas City? It's going to be cold. And the Chiefs, Coach, and this is where you should love them. They accepted who they were late in the year. They are a ball control. Cut out the mistakes, kill you with defense, take the points, and expect our super-duper star quarterback to make a couple amazing plays, and then they're hard to beat. Since that Cincinnati game, they've had 17 drives that mattered, not counting kneel downs end of game. They have scored 13. On 13 of those drives, they've had 3 punts and 1 turnover. And I know, in honor of Eminem being at the Lions game, I'll 8-mile this. I know what everyone's going to say, but what about the red zone, Nick? The red zone. The red zone where they would have scored 4 red zone touchdowns instead of 2, if not for an egregious block in the back penalty and Patrick Mahomes' helmet being cracked in half, so he has to essentially miss a play. The answer is they were never, if I may say, there was never a doubt. And I'm going to be a little understated here.
I agree with that.
I'm going to be a little understated because it's just the wild card round. Like, I don't know, the franchises that make a big deal about the wild card round, maybe once upon a time, but not in this lifetime for me. So no, I mean, listen. Nobody wants to play them. Lions. And so they won. The biggest reason they won is because it's the Chiefs in January. So unless you have Tom Brady, you're basically have a 1 in 15 chance of beating them, and a 0% chance of beating them in regulation.
That's what you like it.
Go ahead. That's what happens.
Ahead,
what I like. Who wants to play the Chiefs? Nobody.
I do love how they're playing defense.
Thank you.
1 for 12 on third down. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
The pressure, the variation of the pressure.
Spags.
The fact that they're willing to run the ball.
Run the ball. There it is.
Physically run the ball. Control the time of possession. 34 minutes. I think that's all fantastic. I think the fact that they were able to perform in cold weather, love the idea that they're actually getting some wide receivers involved in the offense. That's positive too.
Rasheed, sorry.
Yep, that's positive too. They've got superstars at the game and Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
I would just like their other superstar to play like a superstar on a more consistent basis. Patrick Mahomes.
Give me a break.
When you are in your mind the greatest quarterback of all time, which we know it is not true. We know who the greatest quarterback of all time is. You need to perform at that level, especially now in the playoffs. And there were a lot of.
You didn't think he was great?
I thought he was okay. He wasn't great. My expectation for him, and maybe this is my fault. Maybe my expectations for him are higher than yours are. And
hold on.
I'd like to see him perform.
No, Nick. Go ahead.
They had 4 field goals and 2 touchdowns. Now, it was a good win. I didn't see anything that surprised me, anything that made me say, "Oh my, the playoffs have arrived. Now so have the Chiefs." They were playing the fancy prancy Dolphins.
Okay, it's the playoffs
cold weather. All right, the Dolphins can't beat good teams. They showed us that all season long. They can't even score against good teams. All right, so look, the defense of the Chiefs is great. But to get up here and act like, oh my, they put everybody on notice, everybody's scared. They did the same thing they've been doing all season, except Rasheed Rice did catch the ball, but guess who was dropping it? Travis Kelce.
But
all right, look, they were fine. I think they played pretty much how they've been playing.
They won by 19 points against a team
that's 1-6 against playoff
3 weeks ago was playing for the 1 seed. Here's the thing, because Wilds keeps throwing out this stat. If you score 21, if you score 21, you beat the Chiefs, and it's a misleading stat. The more accurate stat is this: the Chiefs are unbeatable when they score 21. And if you guys think, and so literally unbeatable, and if they don't turn the ball over, separate issue, the one loss they have when they haven't lost the turnover battle, one of the turnovers was a pick 6, which is almost like 2 turnovers in itself. Yeah. So there is a level of the Chiefs, the reason you're not seeing more wow plays from Patrick Mahomes and the reason they're struggling in the red zone is because the Chiefs, Patrick is refusing to take chances there. And I believe there are plays that could be made, thrown into the end zone that he's saying right now, under this context of a playoff game against the Dolphins when they can't score, not going to do it. Yeah. I'm not going to put the ball at risk. If you guys think all of a sudden he's lost the ability to make those plays, when all I heard all year was, I need one receiver to step up. Can one of these guys step up? And to which we now, yada, can we show Rashee Rice? Because Rashee Rice, all of a sudden, I don't know, people talked a lot about this Tyreek Hill trade. Forget the fact we got Trent McDuffie. Here's their playoff production the last 2 years. Keep in mind, last year, Rashee Rice was playing in college football. So Rashee Rice has been as productive as Tyreek the last 2 years just yesterday. So you have Isaiah Pacheco, who's a good running back. Travis Kelce, who even at aging had 70 yards in a game where he had 3 drops. Yep. Rashee Rice, who was excellent. Mahomes, who made no mistakes. And the best defense left in the football.
And against a defense that's wasn't great to begin with, and then was banged up.
A depleted and demoralized team that's coming in, playing in ridiculously.
So we're just trying to bring you down. Because they don't look that much better to me than they looked in the regular season.
Okay, so then here's my question. But this is what I've been trying to convince you guys to do all year, is judge this Chiefs team against this year, not against history. Because had they won this game 35-27, I bet you guys would be sounding very differently. But that would be more concerning. That would be a closer win where the defense got pushed around. They won by 19
I would be
points.
Excited like you're excited if they had won 35-7.
Right.
And
scored a few more touchdowns.
Then would be, oh my God, this is the most dangerous
one of the coldest games in history.
They're used to playing.
So hold on. So let's talk about it just real quick, if I may. So one touchdown called off the board for a block in the back that when you watch it.
Those don't matter because they didn't.
I'm asking Coach a question. Coach said if they had won 35-7, he'd feel better about them. And that block in the back is not called. It's 30-7. You think there's a fundamental difference in how the Chiefs played if that call gets made or not? Because I don't. I don't. I think it's the exact same game. And so, no, I don't.
Baltimore just beat Miami by how many points? 56-19 in hot weather where Miami likes to play?
Hot weather. But were the Chiefs not playing in the same weather?
No, they were just playing in cold weather.
No, I'm saying it's the same weather as Miami.
It's okay. The Chiefs control the whole
but
game.
we know Miami can't play in cold weather.
19 points in a playoff.
I'm just saying, you going a little far.
Tua almost throws for 200 yards, just looked off and uncomfortable the entire game. The once mighty Dolphins offense stalls yet again. Here's Tua postgame.
I don't feel any pressure at all. I have full trust in myself. I have full trust in what I'm capable of doing for our organization. But outside of that, we're focusing on tonight and what happened. We're going to simmer on this and see what we can do to get better from it going into next year.
Okay. Are you disappointed in Tua?
No. You're not disappointed when it's what you expect. Listen, he is who he is. This is why eye tests exist. Led the league in passer rating. Should he be the MVP or led the league in passing yards? Don't care. Listen, I don't want to be harsh, but he is undersized, doesn't have a very strong arm, and has never played well in the biggest spots. It's just who he is. And now you're up against a great defense with a great defensive coordinator, and it just continues the trend, and we can show you his history. Every biggest game of his career, he's been bad. Week 17 to make the playoffs, bad. Week 17 the next year, had to win that week and the next week to make the playoffs, bad. Week 17 this year to be the 1 seed, awful. Week 18 this year to win the division and be able to play in balmy weather, which evidently is a prerequisite for an NFL team, unbelievable, bad. And last night, terrible. The one big play they made was a bad throw. And so I understand what all the numbers say, and I understand that Dolphins fans try to be like, oh my God, his eye discipline. He tricks guys. We watch the games. This is a team that will not be able to reach the next level with a quarterback of this level. And that's just what it is.
Yeah, it's interesting. When you look at the last 3 games, he played the 3 seed, the 2 seed, the 1 seed. Going back in those 3 games, he's got, I think it's 4 interceptions and 4 touchdowns, 5 picks. His quarterback rating was like a 62, a 64, and a 72, which is 30 points below his season average. And it's just so disappointing to see that at the end of the season when they should have had the division locked up, and then they limp it in the playoffs, and then he has a performance that he does. It makes it hard to think he's the long-term answer.
Yikes.
Correct.
Brew, look at this graphic, a head-to-head Dolphins against the Chiefs. Chiefs and Pacheco was just out there churning, pushing the Dolphins around. 3rd down, the Dolphins weren't tough enough. 1 for 12 on 3rd down. Big plays. Usually you see something from the Dolphins there, but even then, the Chiefs dominated. So were you surprised the Dolphins didn't put up a fight?
You really asked me that question?
I did. Because I have no idea. Because usually you expect a big fight in the playoffs. Were you surprised the Dolphins
I've been telling y'all all season, they're electric. All right?
Boogie.
They're glitzy. They do all that. But when it's time to fight, when it's time to knuckle up, what do they want to do?
What?
They want to break dance. All right? And I've seen a lot of break dancing in my day, but never in -4-degree weather with a 25 below wind chill.
You guys are bad.
All right? And this stuff, this is cute. This is dope.
Break dance.
We got new ones, yeah. Well, they about to get down. This is the Dolphins. And this looks great in November. This looks great in Miami when it's 90 degrees. You put the cardboard down and all that. This looks wonderful. But what if somebody's tackling them? What if it gets cold outside? What if somebody's trying to run them over? You think they're moving like that? No, they're not. And that is the Dolphins. And I'm telling you, the offseason, they got to get stronger. They got to get tougher. They got to get a defense that'll stop somebody. Because this, as wonderful as it is, and it's great to boogie, sometimes you just got to knuckle up. And they can't do it.
Thanks, Phil.
Cogent analysis.
Excellent job,
Thank you.
Dolphins.
Dolphins 1-6 against playoff teams. So that's that. Coming up.